Hey, beautiful people, it's your girl, Millie, yeah. And I'm back with another Freelancing Friday episode. Stay tuned. Millie. Today's video is a continuation of last week's video. If you haven't watched last week's video, you can find it linked right here or at the end screen, whichever you prefer. Today I will be discussing the different types of voiceover work that you can basically get into. Last week I just basically did a whole video about different ways of making money from your voice, but today I'm just going to focus on voiceover work specifically. All of it is voiceover work, to be honest, but I'm just gonna get deeper into like different smaller things that you can get into. So the videos will be very similar, but you'll get some gems, I'm very sure. Okay, the first one is narration. So if you have a voice like mine, for example, or like you feel like you have an ordinary voice, if there's anything like that, narration might be something that you might want to look into. So narration can be for audiobooks or TV. So I know most of you have watched Nat Geo or their historical channel, and in all those videos with all the animals and stuff, there's always a voice on top talking about, welcome to the prairie. This is where the animals meet at the waterhole. They're here. That's termed as narration. So you're basically telling a story from a third person view. And in audiobooks, you can do that as well. Some audiobooks are basically narrations throughout, but some require some vocal changes. So if you want like narration is one of the easiest things, because if you can read a book and you can read, I don't know if the word is concisely, I think it is. If you can read well, then narration is something that you need to look into because it's easy money. Number two is lifestyle or meditation videos. So these require a different kind of voice, like a calm voice. You need to be able to speak people into a calm state of mind. So you need to be able to deliver your lines in a way that makes people feel calm, in a way that soothes the soul. Yeah. So yeah, with narration, with meditation videos, that's basically what it is. It's like a bit of a slower paced voiceover. I think anyone is able to do it, to be honest. I don't think there's need for any if y'all can hear cartoons, that's my son in the next room. But anyway, what was I saying? Meditation is just slower paced. You just have to, and I think when I do meditation voiceovers, I tend to breathe more. Like I speak into the words, like I breathe life into them, and like let go. I don't know. There's no proper. I don't have proper technique. I just do what I need to do to get paid. So there's narration, and then there's meditation videos. Another thing you can get into is e-learning. E-learning is where the big bucks are. You want to chill with the big boys? E-learning is the thing, because the thing is, people are constantly learning, and in this virtual world that we now live in, practically like a huge percentage of school is done online. People pursuing further studies do it online. People literally in their first phase of studying, grade ones, are doing it online. E-learning is one of the most perfect things you can get into. All you have to do is read out what's in the textbook so that people can hear it. Sounds easy? Yes, because it is easy. You can literally you can do it in your sleep, guys, like literally. So those e-learning DVDs, you can do them in any language. For example, if someone's trying to learn English, they want to listen to English material, you can do the recorded. It's just recording stuff in a book, and you get paid for that. So e-learning is something you should definitely look into, and there's so many different forms. There's the reading out of the textbook, there's actually the talking to people contact you just to talk to you so that they can learn the language, learn to speak better when they speak with natives, things like that. So if I was to start my voice career today, I think I would start in e-learning because, like I said, you want to bamba, you want to chill with the big boys, it is here. This is where it's at. E-learning. Number 4 is commercials. Now, commercials don't necessarily need a commercial voice. You don't necessarily have to be like, do you want to win a $10,000? No, it's not always like that. Like, I don't know if y'all see the ads for like insurance companies. It's real people. So when you do commercials like for like big companies on radio, they sometimes just need ordinary real people just to go and voice themselves to make their ads a thing, to make their ads look good. You know what I mean? So don't look down on yourself. Go for that brand deal. Go for that company. Ask them to do their commercial. Okay, you don't ask, but you apply. Just like any other job, apply for those things. So commercials are fun and short, and they pay very well. I mean, people get paid up to 30,000 rands for a single commercial. And the good thing about commercials with bigger brands is that you get paid every time that commercial is running. You know what I mean? That's like royalties. It's good money. The next thing on my list is corporate recordings. So when it comes to corporate is another. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. There's some gaseous exchange going on in my body. Corporate is another place that pays very well. When it comes to corporate videos, usually the ones I usually get from corporate are like corporate, like when they're doing, it's somewhat similar to e-learning, but like when they're trying to teach people corporate governance and how their, the publicity policies and things like that. So they record those things, and certain, I don't know, workshops, when they're doing workshops, they contract voice artists to record stuff for them. Like, what would you do in a situation where a client shouts at you? Do you shout at them back, or do you call the manager? Things like that. It's pretty straightforward. It's never really difficult when it comes to corporate. It just needs to sound formal and precise, and that's usually what they want. And if you can give them that, corporate gigs are some of the best gigs to get. I won't lie to you. E-learning is good, but corporate, cha-ching. The good thing about the difference between e-learning and corporate gigs is that corporate gigs are usually short, to the point, and big bucks. And big bucks. E-learning, on the other hand, it can be like a lot of work, but there's still the big bucks. So you choose what you want to do and what you think you would want to start with. But the thing about corporate is you obviously have to you have to apply, and you have to know which companies are actually looking for people to do voice work for them. So what I've found in most of the corporate gigs I've worked with like mines, places where international companies that are based in different countries. Those companies usually hire voiceover artists because they usually just create one little book and one little DVD that they send over to all their offices across the world. So those companies, so you should look for international companies that function in many different countries at the same time and pitch the idea, especially ones, for example, right now I'm in South Africa. I would look for companies that are, besides looking on Fiverr Business platform, you can look for companies that have like not a headquarters, but offices in South Africa. Usually those companies are looking for people in this country to actually do their work for them, because first of all, for them it's cheaper, but guess what is cheap for them is not cheap for us. It's not cheap for us at all. So yeah, it's something to look at. And I know agencies usually help people to get jobs with bigger corporate companies, because usually sometimes they prefer agencies. But if you find an agency that you can work with, they will still get you a lot of money. Trust me. And the next thing, I discussed this last week. It was YouTube. And I'm just bringing it again because it's a very good avenue. I mean, it's a faceless channel is something that takes a lot of work, yes, but At least you don't have to put a lot of yourself into that. It's not like your personality is in there, except with your voice. But the thing is, your voice is actually a personality on its own. So people might actually like your channel just because of the way you speak. And it's a thing. So I'm just bringing that back from last week. YouTube is good. Another thing is to get into radio, like to actually get into radio. Being a radio DJ, being a radio announcer, just working behind the scenes on radio. Because guess what? Radio, well, nowadays they do have video footage of what's going on in studio and all that. But I mean, a huge percentage of the time, you don't have to really be looking at people in the face, and they don't have to be seeing what you look like that day. It's just you talking to your clients. Clients. To your audience. It's you talking to your audience. And I know a lot of people are starting up their little radio stations on the internet where they just talk about things that they love and things that they feel other people will love. And that's something you might think you might want to do, an internet radio station, and just be that host. Imagine you're on the other side of the mic, your Dr. Love, and someone is saying, "Play, thank you, Mr. DJ, for playing my song. Thank you." So yeah, getting into radio is pretty cool as well. It's something that you can actually do and make money from. And then there's obviously animation and video games. That also has big bucks, because I mean, kids, guys, kids, them Popeyes that those kids watch. There is so much money in kids stuff. Like, if you see the channels for baby stuff, for kids stuff like cartoons and whatnot, those channels are happening. Like, it's happening there by those channels. I want some of that. When it comes to animation and like video games, that market is huge. It is huge. It's never ending. It's like, it cannot be satiated, if that's how you pronounce the word. I'm sorry, Oxford. I'm sorry, Queen Elizabeth, if I pronounced that wrong. I'm black. So yeah, that's a very big market for you to get into if you're looking for voice work. And the last thing on my list, I just put miscellaneous. So miscellaneous can be anything. Y'all ever called a company and you hear, "Sorry, we are unable to take your call right now. Please leave a message or dial 1 for more help." That was a voiceover. It can either, some of them are computer generated, but I know a lot of them are still human beings. And that's something that you can actually do, something that you can get into. If you're at your workplace and they have a terrible caller receiving thing, suggest to record one for them. You never know, you might get, but don't do it for free. No, don't do it for free. That's your voice, that's your art, that's your craft. It's priceless. Don't do it for free. So there's so many things. Like, if you just sit down and you just try and imagine the amounts of times and the places you are where you just hear someone's voice and you don't see their face, that is an opportunity for voice work. And yeah, that's about it in this video. I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet, or nothing short about this, but short and sweet. But I hope if you got some new information from everything I put out. I hope there's something that you caught on to, and something that maybe you never thought about that you can now explore. And as usual, if you have any questions, suggestions, leave a comment in the comment section. My link to buy me a coffee is also there in the comment section. Not in the comment section, in the description box. So if you'd like to buy me a coffee, buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee. Yeah, buy me a coffee. This right here is my subscriber count. This is how many subscribers I have right now. The goal is to reach 2,000 subscribers by June this year. It's very doable, and yeah, so please help me to get where I need to get to, and just, yeah, please share, like, do the things that make the things to happen. When we reach 1,500, I will be announcing what I will be giving away on the 2,000 mark, and you won't be expected to do anything. I'll be just picking people from basically any comment section in all my videos, people who've always been active. So it won't be like giveaway, now you have to do this. No, I'm just going to take from people who've already been active on my channel. So it's a good time to start now. I love you for watching, and I will see you soon.